Hey guys, Justin with AmericanMuscle.com here with your latest installment of Mustang news. Now, it's been a little while since our last update, but since then, there have been a series of small yet very cool drops in the Mustang world until last night when the entire community caught wind of this allegedly leaked document from Ford, which was originally posted to Reddit before being picked up by our friends at Mustang 6G, and honestly, it's leaving a lot of people skeptical, including myself. And I'll explain a little bit more as to why in a second. But first, let's start up top here with some of the sexy details. And of course, I'm talking about power figures. And according to this document, the GT500 will be making 720 horsepower and 650 pound-feet of torque at the crank. Okay, pretty much what we expected, right? Based off of Ford's released video back at the Detroit Auto Show promising 700 plus horsepower. But here's where things start to get a little bit fishy. Now that peak horsepower figure comes at 7,500 RPM according to this document, which just so happens to be the vehicle's redline, which to me is very odd. Typically your peak horsepower comes a few hundred RPM before the redline. But here's where the wheels completely fall off as we scroll down a little bit further and see a rather portly curb weight of 4,225 pounds. Yikes! Are you trying to tell me that the GT500 is going to weigh 500 to 600 pounds more than a GT350? Listen guys, I know the blower and all of the necessary components aren't exactly light on top of the larger brakes, DCT trans if it's equipped, but I'm having a very hard time believing Ford would allow their Halo Mustang to go full on dad bod and gain that much weight. I mean, that's more than a ZL1 and rapidly approaching the Hellcat's 4,400 pounds. But the final red flag for me is the claimed top speed of 190 mile an hour, which is odd considering the S197 GT500, at least the 13 and 14 variant, was capable of over 200 miles an hour with less power and less aero. Now factor in all of the numerous misspellings and grammatical errors on this form, and I personally feel like this is fake news in an attempt to troll us Mustang fans and get us all whipped up into a frenzy. But doesn't matter what I think, what do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Do you think this is the truth, or are we just being trolled? But let's switch gears to one car that we know is real and official now, and that is the 2018 Cobra Jet, which was just unveiled at the Woodward Dream Cruise, and that marks the 50th anniversary of the drag strip legend. Now, Ford Performance plans on limiting production of the car to only 68 units to commemorate the year it was born, and it is sure to be an absolute monster. Now, the car shown here, I actually saw being built at Watson Racing when we were there with Ford Performance back in May and showing you guys those awesome FP350Ss in production. But unfortunately, I had to remain pretty tight-lipped about the CJ at the time. In fact, at one point in this video, we were actually standing in front of a 2018 CJ in the process of production, which I have to admit was very, very cool to see. Now, that same trip, we also caught a glimpse under the hood of that 5.2-liter power plant, topped off with Whipple's new 5th generation 3-liter blower, all backed by a TH400 trans, which is sure to crank out close to 1,000 horsepower and click off quarter-mile times in the mid to low 8-second range. The car will also feature a 4-link rear, complete with a strange 9-inch solid rear axle, along with coilovers both front and rear, 750 spec cage, low drag brake system, and race tech seats. The car will only be available in 2 colors, race red, and of course my personal favorite, Oxford white. It's also going to have some unique drag wheels, unique badging, and can be yours for a cool $130,000. Some other notable happenings in the world of Mustang the last couple of weeks in no particular order. One biggie here, Ford did celebrate its 10 millionth Mustang ever built with a special 2019 GT convertible in Wimbledon white, a nod to the OG VIN number 1 that rolled off the line back in 1964. Now, Ford also gave word that for the very first time ever, the Mustang will now carry the flag for the blue oval in the NASCAR Monster Energy Series starting at Daytona in 2019. Again, this is the very first time the Mustang will be racing at the top-tier NASCAR Cup Series. However, it has been very successful in the Xfinity Series, winning every championship but one since 2011. And while I will say fitting the modern curves of the S550 to the NASCAR body made for a rather interesting outcome, it will be fun watching with my sons Walker and Texas Ranger every Sunday as the Mustang goes for the checker.
I got a message for all of them. Ready? Shake and bake.
Now before we get out of here, I do have some very cool new product info available here at AM, and that does include the addition of Lund Racing and Lund Tuning, along with their very popular N-Gauge device, now available here on the site for your 2015 and newer Mustang, including the 2018 and newer cars. This does, of course, include their pump gas, E85 or flex fuel tunes, in addition to the very popular and very user-friendly Lund Racing N-Gauge, along with some RevX support as well. So be sure to check them out here on the site, and be sure to look for some product videos coming to you very soon. All right, guys, before we get out of here, I happen to have a $150 gift card just burning a hole in my pocket. So if you want your crack at it, you should know the deal by now. Simply subscribe to our channel, comment below, and it could be yours. We'll pick somebody at random in the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, I'm Justin. Thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.